Well, it's been a long time coming, but today we are finally saying goodbye to the game room. So yes, it is true. It's not clickbait. I am finally saying goodbye to this game room that I've built up over the last 3 years. And in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why, what's been going on, why I haven't released videos in a little bit. And yeah, we're going to talk about it all as I go through everything, not everything, but some special highlights of things in the game room as I'm packing them up for the big move that I am in the middle of right now. So gonna go through that. There's a lot of items that I've had that are really interesting items, things that I actually really kind of cherish, but I just haven't been able to display or use very much because I've had limited space in this game room. So we're going to talk about some of those as well. Right now we're looking at, of course, my Gundam display shelf. What I see in the future is actually I'm going to have 2 separate spaces that are a little bit smaller, each of them, than this room, but they're going to be dedicated. I'm going to have one dedicated to the Gundam stuff and one dedicated to retro gaming. So excited to show you guys that when those new spaces are set up. Of course, I've got, the Trinitron here with all of my consoles set up. Definitely click a link if you haven't seen my full tour of this room. I'll link to that older video below, but I do a full tour of everything. And yeah, my Trinitron is always terrifying to move. I'm very excited about that. Here's my hobby space. Going to be rethinking this hobby space for sure. I need to figure out a better, more ergonomic setup. That desk was definitely not big enough for the types of projects that I was frequently working on. Some of my backlog there, and some stuff that I've already started packing up here on the floor. Just some various plants and different things there. Of course, my Gundam Weapons library. Another thing that's really fun to move because they weigh a ton. Like magazines like that just weigh so much. Never fun to pack. My air compressor, just a basic master air compressor. And some D&D stuff here. I don't think this is something I've ever really shared on the channel, but I have a big collection of 5th edition D&D books, as well as some D&D board games. That's definitely something maybe I'll explore making some content around on the channel. I definitely would like to paint some minis now that I have more skills with the airbrush. Just some random D&D stuff. Some Final Fantasy trading cards. I've never really talked about my trading card game collection. That is definitely something that I'm going to do a new video on because I've always been really passionate about trading cards. You guys probably know I always talk about trading card based video games and RPGs. I'm just a huge fan of that genre. And some Animal Crossing cards. These are the original Animal Crossing e-reader cards from back in the day. I used to use these all the time to get items, special items in the GameCube version of Animal Crossing. I really loved these cards. And this is a pretty interesting one. These are some vintage fantasy magazines. I just think the aesthetic of these is super cool. You guys know, of course, I love vintage stuff, but something about that era of fantasy illustration and just the way they were laying out the magazines, it was like very DIY feeling, very kind of lo-fi, but with some really interesting fonts and layouts and things. I don't know why, I just think it's really cool with all this hand-drawn stuff. Alright, and now we are getting to the good stuff, my vintage Pokemon trading card game collection. I have a crazy amount of base set, jungle, and fossil cards. You can see here falling all over the place. I'm going to do a dedicated video on this because I've really wanted to talk about it for a long time. I've been thinking about getting some of these cards graded because most of them are in pretty nice condition. And I have quite a few first editions, as you can see there. Bloomborough, I'm a huge fan of that set that came out recently. These are just some miscellaneous Magic cards here. But yeah, I love Magic the Gathering. Been a big fan for a long time. I'm super hyped, you guys, for the Final Fantasy set. I am going to play the crap out of that. Curious what you guys all think about it. I've heard it's already like the best-selling Magic set of all time, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to picking up some of those Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. Here are my Street Fighter 2 gloves. Use gloves. I did a video review of these back when I was living in Japan. Just a fun little promo item that's going in the box. And yeah, now I'm just starting to pack up and put some stuff in boxes and just kind of pulling out some special games here that mean a lot to me. F-Zero X, this was one of the first games, if not the first game, that I picked up when I started retro collecting again after selling off my N64 collection. Probably, geez, back in like, I want to say like 2009 or 2010, something around there. Hybrid Heaven, super underrated, insanely underrated RPG for the N64. Quest 64, another one that's super underrated. People hate on that game. I've wanted to do a review of it for a long time because it's one of my legit favorites for the N64. Some DS games here and 3DS games. Yeah, I guess I'm going to switch from just chatting about these games to talking about my future plans, and I can just kind of keep this rolling in the background. Maybe I'll throw up some footage of some games that I really like as I'm talking. But yeah, like I said, I'm planning to build a new game room and a hobby room that is also going to be like a YouTube studio, so I can really focus on making videos. If you haven't seen my post about it, I am shooting to do YouTube full-time, so I know the videos have been a little bit light lately, but that's just because I've been in the middle of a move and it's been crazy. But I'm really hoping that I can get up the amount of videos that I'm putting out. I also have at least one final Japan video that I've been spending a lot of time on, and I think it's finally time for that video to come out. And it's a really, really personal one. It's one I'm super excited about. I know I'm being a bit vague right now, but you guys will understand when that video drops. And I think that should be the next video after this, so definitely stay tuned for that as well. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I had for this video. I know it's kind of just a random video, but I wanted to put something out, like a little update, so you guys know I'm still here, still making videos. And yeah, I will be back soon with another one. I hope this one holds you guys over. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.